Tell me what you want, what you need. Tell me what you wanna give. How much blood would you bleed? I'ma tell you I'm a misconceiver. I'm a believer. Someone better kick my fever. Tell me it's 100 degrees underneath my whole flex. Everyone tells me it's a bit of a mess. I'ma tell the risk I was never at the hit. I would never get this off my chest though. I'm forgetful. Someone better tell me I was always on the edge. Overstay your bearings, I would never underestimate. Oh barely, my bets are off. Everything was better off. Oh barely, my bets are off. Everything was better off. Take your eyes off me, you don't want to see me when I'm gone. Moral of the story was you're wrong. Everything I gave and everything I lost. Good things come at a cost. I left it on your head, and when you ever overstated, your thoughts are never everything you wanted when you want. I'ma take it in the head with the signs of the distort. I'ma leave it on the side. You run the Christ when the breath on the set. Let me speak on behalf of the dead. I'ma leave, I'ma stick, I'm sick in the head. Come on, come on. Oh barely, my bets are off. Everything was better off. Oh barely, my bets are off. Everything was better off. Tell the risk I was never at the hit. I would never get this off my chest though. I'm forgetful. Someone better tell me I was always on the edge. Overstay your bearings, I would never underestimate. Oh barely, my bets are off. Everything was better off. Oh barely, my bets are off. Everything was better off.
Oh, I had to get back up. I had to get back up. I can't take no off. You better call back up. I'm running it down to finish. I don't play, get down to get it. Talk about that, come slide, I'm with it. Better see me now, on God, I'm lit it. I know that you tryna go big. Better run up the cash, you love to spend. Better kill it and did it again. I'm with the intent, no, I'm down to win. I can't feel bad about it. I know you sad about it.
Know you sad about
Okay.
it. Know you sad about it.
I just got bags from Prada, rolling up. I'm in a brand new model. It'll be here tomorrow. I don't got fears or problems. Only got real ones round them. Only got. It take a week to count it. Then I'm back up. Name the place and we pack up. Running these racks up. 100 meals a week after. Down from laughter. When they come to handles, never had one. With a bad one. Made a meal today and they my last one.
Oh, I had to get back up. I had to get back up. I can't take no off. You better call back up. I'm running it down to finish. I don't play, get down to get it. Talk about that, come slide, I'm with it. Better see me now, on God, I'm lit it. I know that you tryna go big. Better run up the cash, you love to spend. Better kill it and did it again. I'm with the intent, no, I'm down to win. I can't feel bad about it. I know you sad about it.
Know you sad about it. Know you sad about it.
I'm moving too fast, I can't stop. Wiping it down when the paint hot. Left hand on the wheel. I'm closing the top when the raindrop. I'm keeping the game in the headlock. When throwed and blinded my dreadlock. In the end zone with the mad dot. One phone call, get it dead stop. I feel like I own the season. Say one thing, just give me a reason. Knowing you're mad, I'm undefeated. Top dog, making it even.
Oh, I had to get back up. I had to get back up.
I can't take no off. You better call back up. I'm running it down to finish. I don't play, get down to get it. Talk about that, come slide, I'm with it. Better see me now, on God, I'm lit it. I know that you tryna go big. Better run up the cash, you love to spend. Better kill it and did it again. I'm with the intent, no, I'm down to win. I can't feel bad about it. I know you sad about it.
Know you sad about it. Know you sad about it.
Can McCaffrey do it again? It's a coach. You're set for Madden football on EA Sports. Coming up, dual threat Christian McCaffrey. fresh off a big game a week ago, as it'll be the Indianapolis Colts taking on the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Okay, Coach, we are at the confluence of the Ohio, Allegheny, and Monongahela Rivers at Heinz Field in Pittsburgh, PA. Today, it's a Week 9 matchup set to go here between the Indianapolis Colts and the Pittsburgh Steelers. This is fielded at the goal line. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. So out come the Steelers now for their first drive. They'll be brought out by their quarterback, who is now in season number 9 out of TCU, Andy Dalton.
His game last week reminded me of the old song, accentuate the positive, because that's about all he did, right?
Yeah.
3 touchdown passes, over 300 yards in the air, receivers happy.
And they got the win.
Got the win. If you're a running back that likes to catch passes, they're happy as well. Big-time game.
And an early how do you do right there, as they're going to bury him in the backfield. Call it officially a loss of 2 on the first play from scrimmage. Second down. Okay, there's a tone setter. First play from scrimmage, stuff him in the backfield.
You know what they were doing last night in the hotel room? Visualizing exactly that. That's what they were thinking about. Making that play, having leverage, lower than the offensive lineman, getting into the offensive backfield, knocking someone down. Just what you said, setting the tone early for this game.
Jeez, you are fired up.
When I see a play like that, I can't help it. And this is why aggressive defensive coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
He's got his man, T.J. Hockenson. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. It'll be a gain of 17 and a Pittsburgh first. The first down carry here for Johnson. The linebacker, Ryan Shazier, there to make the tackle. But look there at the defensive starters for the Colts. They were terrific last week in the win over Denver.
If I'm playing quarterback against this team, after what I saw on film where they had 5 picks last week, all I'm thinking about is taking care of the football, being very careful with it, and making sure I see my guys open before I throw it.
I might curl up in the fetal position.
That's not a bad idea.
I don't think he's going to do that, though.
Kill.
On second down, it's Johnson. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. The second down play results in a loss of 2 yards.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
Dalton now to pass. And unable to connect. Incomplete. Now give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
It's a great job by this secondary. When I watch them, they remind me of elite defenders on a basketball court, right? They want to contest each and every pass.
Great contest on 3rd down to bring up 4th. They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. And this will hit just beyond the goal line as it's into the end zone for a touchback. So here come the Colts under second-year coach Frank Reich. They'll be led out by their veteran quarterback out of North Carolina State. It's Phillip Rivers.
His game last week reminded me of the old song, accentuate the positive. That's about all he did, right?
Yeah.
3 touchdown passes, over 300 yards in the air. Receivers happy.
And they got the win.
Got the win. If you're a running back that likes to catch passes, they're happy as well. Big-time game.
A first carry for Christian McCaffrey, who made his first Pro Bowl last year. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. From the shotgun, it's Rivers. And he finds his tight end, Graham. And he'll be marked down at the 26 with a gain of 7.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
And he's got Fitzgerald. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. Indianapolis moving the chains there on a gain of 12. A first down throw here for Rivers. Oh, a battle for it here, and this will be caught. Give the Colts 13 yards and a first down. Operating out of Steeler territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. Here's McCaffrey, and he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. On 2nd and 11 now. Rivers, that one caught by Tyreek Hill. Tyreek Hill from last week. There are the numbers. He was inching up towards 200 yards receiving, couple of touchdowns, and I think you said it best at the end of the game. It was a pleasure to watch his performance, wasn't it?
Absolutely, because you and I both know none of those numbers came by accident. They were a result of him being in perfect sync with his quarterback, and boy, it was beautiful to watch. Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Now it's a bootleg with Rivers. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Uchenna and Nwosu got the sack there. You know darn well both of these teams reviewed the film and saw that this defense had 5 sacks last week. They got to keep their QB upright.
And they're going to try their best to do exactly that. But they're facing a team where getting to the quarterback is a mindset. It's a mantra for them. And they play a game within the game. And you know what it is? Let's race to the...
Oh, this is intercepted, intended for Hill. Picked by Darryl Worley. And the return stops just a little bit shy of midfield at the 48-yard line.
Well, that's a drive killer right there. Not a really confident throw either. This one was kind of up for grabs, and it's going to come down the hands of the wrong team.
And they'll start the drive on the ground with Johnson. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 13. So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. From the gun, a run for Johnson. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down. So from 2nd and long, now we go to 3rd and very manageable.
Yeah, they love that phrase, don't they? Because as an offensive coordinator, you can keep people a little bit off balance and guessing because you don't have to throw it. You can come back with a strong run game if you want to. And if you're in 4-down territory, that really opens things up for you.
On now, Graham Gano. He's hit from 63 as recently as last year. This will approach NFL record territory. It's a 62-yard attempt. And this one is no good. He missed it. And this will remain a scoreless game. Well, this is a guy who is already among an elite group of kickers that have hit from 60-plus in an NFL game, but that's a tough ask to try and get him to produce another one here.
You're exactly right. It's elite group for a reason, isn't it? No small feat for him to hit it from that distance. This one doesn't go through. I always marvel at those guys because it's the same approach every time, the same smoothness when they swing their leg. Doesn't look like they're putting anything extra even when they're kicking it for 60-plus.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Now a run with McCaffrey. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. Ready for the 2nd quarter, and it's our visitors with the football as they've got it 2nd down and 12. Start of the 2nd quarter, and it's the Colts in possession as they've got it 2nd down and 12. On 2nd and 12, Rivers. They complete it to Hill. 27 yards there, a first down. That's what we're used to seeing from him right there. Plays like that, why he's number 4 in the league in terms of receiving yardage.
Able to make adjustments all along the way. Doesn't matter where he lines up, where he releases.
And he takes this one in for a Colts touchdown. Christian McCaffrey with touchdown number 7 on the year, as his guys are first onto the scoreboard here this afternoon. And they drew up the counter there. It worked. They're glad they drew up the counter.
And a lot of times what you're trying to do is just simply get the defense moving in one direction. It doesn't take much. Even one step's enough. Get them going in one direction and then cut back against the grain and let your running back finish it off and get the work done.
Now Greg Zuerlein on for the extra point. And this is good to make it 7-0 Indy. A drive there of just 4 plays. And the last play on the drive, the touchdown run from Christian McCaffrey. Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. And the last go-around for them, they tried that really, really long field goal, couldn't connect.
And in retrospect, I think a lot of people would say, well, why would you try one that long? You hurt yourself in field position. The ball comes out, there. That only helps the other team. But I look at it as maybe it's a double shot of confidence. Confident the kicker could make it. And even if he missed, confident in their defense that they could hold him.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. To throw here, Dalton. His throw incomplete. Nelson Aguilar, the intended receiver, and it's 3rd and 5. And the Steelers on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. And Dalton to throw. And that is incomplete. Well, the other day they told us when we've got 3rd and 5 or less, we have to be able to convert. And I guess every team would say that, Charles, but an opportunity missed there.
What they were trying to tell us is they believe it's a matchup game at that point. And they liked some matchups that they had, thought they could exploit them, unable to do so on that play.
Good open field tackling there. A 50-yard punt followed by just a 1-yard return. And the Colts will go on offense here, 1st and 10. Here comes the Indianapolis offense now as they get set to take over. And it's only November, but the playoffs, we know how it works. They'll be here before you know it. If it ended today, they would be the #1 seed.
And that's a great spot to be in, but I love the phrase, if it ended today. And I'll guarantee you, that's what they've discussed in their locker room, in their meeting rooms. Yeah, we know where we'd be if it ended today, but we also know it's not ending today.
Right.
So they've got to continue to play the type of ball that put them in the spot where they're #1 in their conference. He did have the touchdown run earlier, but not a heck of a lot more than that throughout this game.
No, not at all. In fact, I would say that this defense has done as good of a job on him as they have on any runner in recent memory. 3rd and short yardage, Rivers. Completes it to Fitzgerald. And he takes it down deep into Pittsburgh territory. A big play there on the catch and run. 58 yards. Excellent execution, and now they're set up nicely.
Are they ever? Red zone? I wonder what the next play call is going to be, because after a big play like that, a lot of teams like to use the momentum to launch another one.
So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive. They'll run with McCaffrey. Looking for a cutback lane, but nothing there as he's met at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
So if you've been playing defense in this one, there's a little bit of the good and some bad, because they did give up the touchdown run to him earlier, but shut him down otherwise.
Outside of that, you're exactly right. I would say they've contained him very well. Now a 2nd down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete. Christian McCaffrey, last year's catch leader among running backs, the intended receiver. But now it's 3rd down. They had the incomplete pass on 2nd down. Now they need a big play here, 3rd and 10. And this is caught. It's Edelman. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. The former 7th-round pick, Julian Edelman, just continues to have such a productive career.
And has made himself into a receiver. Remember, he was a college quarterback, and not just a productive one, a very good one.
At Kent State, right?
Yes, a great leader, a guy who could make plays with his feet and his arm. Got to the NFL and had to convert into being a receiver and was drafted that way. And that conversion, oh boy, it's been good.
Another run, this time McCaffrey. And he takes it in for a Colts score. Christian McCaffrey with his second touchdown of the game, number 8 on the season. And the Colts, they add on to their advantage. And always a good first half when you can hit pay dirt twice.
And it never hurts to have that good feeling as the game moves on. Just think about halftime. If that's all he gets, he'll just sit there at the half and think, all right, 2 already. I can get some more. I get some more. And it'll be encouraging his offensive line to create some space.
Zerline good with a PAT. And that'll make the score 14-0. So that drive goes 8 plays. And the last play on the drive, the touchdown run from Christian McCaffrey. Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Getting set to go again, DeAndre Hopkins marches back onto the field. A chance maybe here for them to get him more involved. They're down here on the scoreboard, and he's been very quiet.
And the silence has been deafening for his team. They don't need that at all. They need fireworks. They need explosive plays. They need him touching the football in any way possible. Maybe go to some jet sweeps. Anything to get him going.
Yeah, something to get him the ball. We'll see if they can do it.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
19 yards there on the catch and run. So the false start will back them up 5.
False start, offense.
Maybe anticipating a blitz, and they jumped.
Yeah, and if we saw it, you know that they saw it. The bad guys might have been coming on that play. Had to pick them up, and they jumped.
From the gun, Dalton looks to throw. David Johnson here on the catch. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. Just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him without weakening our overall defense? You're exactly right. It's a tough task to match up to him.
And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. Able to get what they need to keep the drive going with a 6-yard pickup on 3rd down. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. It's caught by Aguilar. 1:57 to go in this first half on EA Sports. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete.
They've been playing sound fundamental defense thus far and able to keep this offense from creating a major dent on the scoreboard.
Able to force the incompletion, but still waiting for that game-changing play. You feel like it's coming, the first sack, the first turnover.
In a sense, they're playing old-school defense right now. The new
DeAndre Hopkins, he's all alone. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. DeAndre Hopkins. His 2nd touchdown on the season as they are now on the board here in the first half. Extra point try good by Gano, and that'll make our score 14-7. Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away. This fielded at the 2. Able to get away.
That's why you keep the legs churning.
And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. They're starting to pull away with this one. Early on that first quarter, they didn't look so great offensively. What has changed? Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go.
Hey, Delta!
Now Rivers. The connection made. It's Graham. And the Steelers now in the nickel here on 3rd down. Working out of the gun, Rivers. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Quandre Diggs. And they take over. They'll set up shop at the 46-yard line.
The Steelers take over 1st and 10 at the 46.
Their D gets the INT. Now what can Dalton do? And the throw left sideline here is caught, but they'll rule it incomplete. Couldn't keep his feet in. 2nd down.
But one thing's for sure, when you get a big receiver and you trust him downfield, you're going to give him opportunities to go up and get that 50-50 ball.
And he is a darn good big receiver. Unfortunately, that time didn't work out. Nice job defensively. That's going to go down as a loss of 5, and it brings up 3rd down. Well, that 2nd down completion, something of a disaster, and now they're left with 3rd and long. Out of the gun, it's Dalton. And that is incomplete. So it doesn't look like they're going to be able to build off the turnover.
Well, the defense certainly did its part. It got them the football. But you're exactly right. It looks like they're going to have to punt this one away. And it's not a turnover, but doesn't it feel like one after grabbing the momentum with the defensive play?
Yeah, and they had all that momentum after getting the football, and now zapped right back in the other direction. Here comes the Colts offense now as they make their way onto the field. Less than 30 seconds to go in the half. Pretty good starting field position, all things considered. You'd think they definitely have time to get in the field goal range.
Yes, and you get into the huddle or you come off the bench here and you've called multiple plays.
This is caught inside the 15. The Colts going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 13 seconds to play in half number 1. Well, that didn't take long. One play, and we're already looking at a 1st and goal situation.
Hey, here we go.
From the gun, Rivers. And that's incomplete. Clock stops with 10 seconds left. He was looking for the rookie A.J. Brown there, but it'll be 2nd and goal. They'll go again here from the 10-yard line on 2nd and goal.
12.
Throwing again. Rivers escaping the pressure right. And he's got his target. It's caught for a Colts touchdown. Tyreek Hill in the final seconds of the first half. And the Colts, they add on to their advantage.
And that's a lead that excites a team as they head into the half. Good way to finish things off.
Yeah, able to extend that lead, and you always say it, that can totally change. The complexion of half number 2.
Yeah, it changes your morale, changes your outlook. But even before that, let's see if they decide to kind of squib kick or what they're going to do on the kickoff, because you don't want to give up a big play right before the half ends.
Good point. Zerline connects on the extra point, and it's now 21-7. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive. And the result for the Colts is a touchdown. Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick. This will be taken very short.
Come on, baby.
We have hit halftime. Still 2 more quarters to go. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back after this. You're watching the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. It's in the game.
Okay, all right, Brandon. Thank you very much. Hi again, everyone. Let's get you caught up with what's going on around the NFL as we are officially into the second half of the season. We'll begin up at Bank of America Stadium in Uptown Charlotte. And the Panthers are out in front as they play the second quarter. Deshaun Hamilton, a touchdown catch in that first half. Next, we head north to Philly to check on the Eagles at home at Lincoln Financial Field. And they trail the visiting Chicago Bears. 2 touchdown passes there for Dak Prescott. Finally, let's take the trip across the Atlantic, see what's happening over in London. And they were winners in that one over the visiting Houston Texans. Dwayne Haskins, strong in the victory as it pushes his guys back above the 500 mark on the year. In the game you're watching, it's the veteran Phillip Rivers, who's up to his old tricks. He's thrown for over 200 yards already, and his guys have the lead as well. As we get you back to Brandon Gaudin.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Second half ready to get underway. The Colts with a lead, and they will receive the football. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Tyreek Hill making his way back out towards the huddle. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this? But it's usually not by himself, is it? Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well.
Starting the second half with a run by McCaffrey. And he's upended at the 33 following a good pickup of 8.
He's had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. On the ground, McCaffrey trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and no more. They'll try and pick it up with McCaffrey, and he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. Give him 3 yards and a fresh set of downs.
That's a tremendous group effort there, because when you talk about offensive lines, the best ones, talk about guys that play in harmony, in sync, and getting things done, and they did that on that play.
Yeah, especially on 3rd and 1. Got to be in sync, and they were. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks, because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
And not even back to the line of scrimmage this time as they're on him quickly once more. The defense stiffens to force 4th down following that first down gain of 8.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. It'll be a gain of 17 and an Indianapolis first down.
We always hear about guys wanting to make plays that quiet a crowd.
Yeah.
After that one.
Here in the 3rd quarter, they were hoping to get the stop, get the football back. Not the case.
What a completion on a 4th down play.
On first down, this is McCaffrey. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or 2 shy of the 30. That's good for an Indianapolis first down on a gain of 10.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. They stay on the ground. This time it's Johnson. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. That's good for an Indianapolis first down on a gain of 10.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. On 1st and 10, Rivers. And he's going to be intercepted a third time. Picked off by Quandre Diggs. And he returns it here to his own 18-yard line. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
Now a 10th carry for Johnson. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
First and 10 for Dalton. And nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete. DeAndre Hopkins, the Pro Bowler, the intended receiver. And that'll bring up second down. So now they'll come up on 2nd and 10, once again from the 28. To throw again. Dalton under heavy pressure, and down goes Dalton on the sack. Bruce Irvin able to record his 5th sack of the season. Chalk that up as their first sack in this game, and they tallied 4 a week ago.
And probably not as much exultation in that sack as what took us so long. Because when you get 4 the previous week, you're counting on continuing that momentum. They didn't get that done in the first half of the game. Let's see now if they start to bring even more exotic pressure towards the quarterback.
What a difference a week makes. Last week he hit on over 80% of his passes. This week he's down under 50%. What do you see as the difference?
Well, I think we're used to seeing a drop. If someone's over 80%, they're not going to hold that number, not in this league. But a drop under 50%, that just tells me that the defense has spent a lot of extra time on game films and came up with a really good plan to try and chip away at his timing.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. They'll try to get the running game going with McCaffrey. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. 16 yards the pickup there. The Colts have a first down.
Now this is an example of breaking down a defense, because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off at the 35. There he goes left side. And he's in for 6 and a Steeler touchdown. Well, when both guys went up for the ball, I just thought, who's going to come down with it? I didn't think he'd come down with it and then take it all the way for a touchdown.
That's battling, isn't it? Because normally, if both guys go up for it and come down with it, the tie goes to the offense. The defensive player didn't want it to be a tie at all. He wanted a little bit more, took it, and went the other direction.
This is taken about 7 yards deep. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards, as he'll get this only back to the 20. So here are the Colts to take over. They've got the lead right now, and remember, they are riding that very impressive 7-game winning streak, trying to push it to 8. And he'll be corralled right around the 34. A 14-yard gain for Indianapolis, and also move the sticks. Back to the ground on 1st. It's McCaffrey. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
On 2nd down, Johnson. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. And third quarter here, you've got the lead. This is where that strong run game can really benefit you. Stayed in bounds there, kept the clock going.
I like all the points you just made there. And if you throw the football and it's incomplete, now you stop the clock and you've helped out the guys on the other side of the ball. So keep it in the hands of those runners. Keep moving it. Keep grinding clock.
On second down, McCaffrey. And still about 3 yards shy of a first as the 4-yard pickup brings it to third down. Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. Back now in Pittsburgh. It's the Colts. They've got control of the football. They also have the lead as we start the fourth. The Colts on third down. They've hit 4 of 7. Here it's 3rd and 3. Operating from the gun, Rivers. It's complete. It's Fitzgerald. And they're going to have themselves another first down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 28. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me. I'm going to keep firing.
Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down. After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. On play action, Rivers. That's incomplete. Nearly another pick. My goodness.
Trying to decipher what's going on out there because I don't know if he's just getting bad reads. I don't know if the defense is confusing him. I don't know if he just has, bad info and intel before he snaps the ball. But he's made some pretty bad decisions with the football lately.
Yeah, several bad decisions on the interceptions he's thrown in. Frankly, that should have been another pick right there. And now the third down throw incomplete as well.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
A big one there. That gives him a little cushion and makes it a 2-score game.
Yeah, bled a little time off the clock, put some points on the board. It's not totally out of reach yet, but it has to feel pretty good to them right now because as a defender, you go out on the field and say, guess what? You can put some points on the board, but that won't beat us.
This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Throwing again. Dalton. That's going to be caught by Josh Reynolds. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down. They face a 3rd and 4 after that last completion gets them 6. Dalton here from the gun. And that will be incomplete. Throwing the football, he's not as sharp as he was last week when he was over 70%. Right now, he's under 50%.
Well, that comes from extra game film, extra time. You know those guys watched him all week, saw how precise he was, and constructed a defense to try and chip away at that, and thus far they've been successful.
Now they go for it on 4th, but this one is going to wind up incomplete. So they really needed points here in a 2-score game. Could not come away with anything there on 4th.
And while we know they're a little bit discouraged here, they can't check out of this game. You and I have called a good number of games over the course of our career where we've seen these types of situations. Teams get the ball back, and that miracle does occur. So they can't let that dream go just yet. They have to get stout on defense here.
Yeah, right now really hoping for a turnover. And again, he's going to be stopped up right at the line of scrimmage. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
It is tough to complete passes against zone defenses. The windows that you see open, they shrink pretty rapidly. How about being able to hit a moving target against a zone before the next guy can get there and make a play on the ball?
Not easy for any quarterback, no matter the situation. And there, the defense won the battle. So they settle for just the 3, but clearly right now anything helps trying to salt this one away in the 4th.
Without a doubt, obviously a touchdown probably would have been the final nail to finish this thing off, but they still ate up time, got points. So while it's not mission accomplished, it's darn close.
Morstead, the punter, out to kick it off. And a little dangerous there, almost a penalty, but it does get into the end zone before going over the sideline for a touchback. Getting set to go again, Andy Dalton marches back onto the field. And the passing game, I mean, look at the numbers. It's fallen off. When a team is struggling, sometimes you look at the quarterback. When the quarterback starts to struggle, who goes over and picks him up?
Yeah, that's always a big one, isn't it? Usually, there's a quarterback whisperer somewhere. And what I mean by that is, whether it's an assistant coach, whether it's one of his best friends on the team, someone that can get in his ear, get with him and say, all right, my man, what do you need? What's going on here? So he's one person he can lean on. He's going to have to lean on that guy right now.
8 yards on the run there, and that leaves him with 3rd and just a couple. 3rd and 2 for Dalton. Catch is made by Hockenson, the tight end. And he will have first down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks. A first down throw coming for Dalton. Open man, he's got him, the tight end Hockenson. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. The Steelers picking up 15 yards there and a first down. Now from Colts territory, here's a 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line. Throwing, Dalton. That's into the hands of Reynolds. A gain of 6 there on first. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Throwing again on 2nd down, but this time it's incomplete. And the Steelers on 3rd down. They're right at about the league average, 40%, 4 for 10. This is 3rd and 4. And he's got the completion to Hopkins. And they just keep marching right along. First down on a pickup of 8 there. And in a 2-score game, obviously, every play, every 3rd down, like we saw there, magnified, big pickup.
It was a huge pickup. What they really want, though, is to not even get to 3rd down. They've got to maximize time and conserve as much as possible.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. Ball on the 30 as they come up 2nd and 10. So Dalton now. Screen play, Johnson. That was the 9th play of the drive, and they pick up 9 yards with it.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
They'll look to make it 3 for 3 on 3rd down conversions. They need a yard here. Despite only needing 1, Dalton to throw. Got his man. It's caught for a Steelers touchdown. Chris Ivory, his 4th touchdown on the year, as his guys are back within a single score. Well, he wasn't the guy they were initially going for, but after going through the progressions, it worked.
When you have plenty of people who can catch the football, you don't always have to go to your primary target, and sometimes that target is actually covered. Nice job coming off of that and getting it to someone who was open.
And the man out of the backfield gets in for the score. Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away. This is taken at his 4. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. And now Indianapolis set to take the field. Right now clinging to a one-score lead, Charles, and I think operating within that 4-minute offense with a little less than 4 minutes to go applies here, right?
It certainly does, and that means the playbook is still wide open. But you are a little bit more careful about what you're calling. You want plays they're going to gain yardage, how would you say it, consistently, right? You don't need the big shots downfield, but make sure the clock continues to run. Pile up the first downs. And the goal, end the game with your quarterback kneeling down at the end, and you still have the lead.
A good pickup there, 13 yards as they get closer for third down. The battle in the trenches, never more important than right now. This is 3rd and inches. From the shotgun, it's Rivers, forced out to his left. He can run for it, and he will. Rivers looking a little nimble there as he picks up a first down. Well, there you go. Save your best scramble of the day for a big-time situation in the 4th quarter, picking up the first.
You don't want to use it up early, right? You want to make sure you save it for that exact moment, that key time. And that's what he did, although you and I both know it wasn't planned that way. But what a nice job using his eyes, scanning the field, and realizing when it was time to exit the pocket and go.
4th quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a one-score game. So the Colts in possession of the football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. This is McCaffrey. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. And now with 1:52 to go, we get another pause in the action. A timeout here defensively. A rare misstep on that last play because the drive has been strong, but now it's 2nd and 12. Throwing here, Rivers. Flushed out right. That's incomplete. Nearly another pick. My goodness.
I think he's taking an awful chance with the football right there. You've got to lead, you've got to protect it, and he's taking chances putting it out there in a little bit of jeopardy.
Especially in a spot like this, 4th quarter, as you said, trying to claim to that advantage.
Yeah, that one probably should have been picked, huh?
Now the Steelers going to use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This to make it a 2-score game. And this will split the uprights. It's right down the middle. And the drive will wind up yielding 3. So that's a big one. Obviously, Charles makes it a 2-score game. His 3rd field goal of the game, able to knock it through.
Yeah, not exactly free and clear yet, but as a defense, you get to play a little bit looser, don't you? Because you do now have a little bit of a margin of error, don't you?
Morstead, the punter, out to kick it off. This is taken near the 13. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. David Johnson now gears up to help lead this offense back on the field. And after a sluggish start, he's really bounced back. The numbers bear that out.
And you're a baseball guy, partner. How many at-bats over the course of a baseball season?
Oh, boy, 4 in a game.
Yeah, about 4 in a game.
4 times 162.
350 or so, right? Sometimes it takes a while for a guy to get going. That's my point. It's not the first few carries. You don't worry about that. As they go along, get that guy lathered up, get those blocking assignments down. Those 2-yard gains turn into bigger gains as the game moves along.
To throw again on 2nd down. Dalton, he's got his tight end over the middle. T.J. Hockenson. And they'll get him to the ground, and he has another first down at the Colts 37. Passing, it's Dalton. It's complete to Hopkins. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down. Dalton saying, let's get going here, guys, as he rallies them to get set. Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Dalton. And they'll get him to the ground. He has another first down at the Colts 16. Now Dalton. He's down inside the 10 to the 8, and it comes on a gain of 8. Charles, we saw a lot of points go up in this one. Certainly defensively, stuff that they can look at on film, don't you think?
No doubt about it. And they've got to go back and check where the errors are, how they're going to fix them, and continue to get better at what they do. But they also need a little adjustment with their confidence. To give up that many points, even if you win a game, that can hurt you.
So for Indianapolis, they continue to cruise through this first half of the schedule as they move to 8-0 now on the campaign. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for Pittsburgh, the struggles intensify as they drop to 2-6 now on the year. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week.
S-T-R-O. Yeah.
How many of y'all came to win?
Oh, they asking my name, huh?
You ready?
S-T-R-O. I ain't come to play with you.
Yeah.
Life challenging, but I wouldn't trade with you. It's early, I'm up.
Yeah.
I can't spend the day with you. I'm out of my business. I ain't getting paid with you. My color bright.
Yeah.
I ain't finna fade with you. Man, I gotta come clean like I'm made with you. I've been on my everybody drop when I drop. Look at shorty, she support ride. Lifting up, never not on my grind. New York City time. Another brother better, you will never find. I've been in my bag like groceries. Competition shouldn't take shots, take notes, please. Reporting live from the winter side. Ready to try, keep a different vibe. Is you down the ride, down the tide? You never know, you ain't never tried. Work it out, hit the gym, hit the field. Hey, yo, I need that. Big chips, man, I need that. Hustle hard, on the job, you can see that. On my head is real good, we don't need your feedback. They clear the way with my crew coming through. What I do? Lace up the shoes, chase W's. What I do? Lace up the shoes, chase W's. Now what I do? Lace up the shoes, chase W's. Yeah. Beats, leave it in the street, case on the news.
What I do? Lace up my shoes, chase W's. Great colored coops. Oh no, I can't be number 2. MVP the league most valuable. They sweet as apple juice. Talking trophies, I didn't grab the few. Can't match this attitude. I wear my heart on my sleeve, please. I move like the wind, can't catch this breeze, freeze. Stop you in your tracks, there's not no preseason. We seeking W's like Tupac used to throw up. Forget it, might as well forfeit. Your team shouldn't even show up. What you wanna